YouTube, what's going on? Savage here. Today I'm gonna be giving you guys 22 simple tips and tricks that are gonna help elevate your gameplay and secure you guys more wins instantly. Today we're gonna be breaking down a viewer submission gameplay. We'll be talking about the things he's doing right or wrong, as well as the enemies that he's fighting. And if you guys wanna stay up to date with all the new Warzone tips and tricks and strategies, make sure you subscribe to the channel right now. But let's go ahead and dive into it. All right, so right now we are in our map and we are looking around trying to figure out where to go. Of course, you can go to elite key cards. That's always gonna be the prime spot, whether you're just wanting to win games, get a good start, or hot drop and practice your reps. This is always going to be a great place to go. Honestly, you'll probably end up committing to that, to be fair. Now, look, I recommend if you're trying to get your gunny in, if you're trying to learn how to shoot, just hot drop it. If there happens to be a little shed or building next to it, you can land on real quick, get a gun, and then fight. I always recommend that. But if you guys are like, well, this is going to be hot, if you notice other people flying around you, of course, like he is right here, you can always divert to a building that is somewhat nearby that you might be able to get a little bit better leverage on. It's always gonna be smarter to fight with weapons than without, but you can still do some damage with the pistol. But we're gonna land on the rooftop. Another thing that I wanna always recommend you guys is to look around, because as you guys are in the sky flying around, you can literally have enemies all around you and not even know it. Like right now, we're looking at the rooftop, but we have no idea if there's one enemy, two enemies, three enemies flying in that direction or not. We didn't hear anybody, but we all know the audio is kind of chalked in that aspect, so you don't want to rely on that. You want to land in and get eyes on any enemy that might be over here, because again, we have no idea. So as I'm landing in, I would just look. Even as I'm pulling my shoot right now, I'll be looking to my left to get a little bit of idea what's going on. This is a mistake a lot of players make. This is a little too hyper-focused, and we just assume that nobody's around us. You need to make a habit of that in mid-gunfight, but especially in slow times like this. Assumption is gonna be everyone's biggest death. When you're in a fight, you assume nobody's near you, you end up getting third party. When you rotate, you assume no one's here, you end up getting picked. When you land, you assume no one's near you, and you end up getting messed up that way too. All right, so we have 3 targets we can actually worry about. This guy is above us, and because this terrain right here is all below us, just a little like culvert, little dip, we know this guy is in the air. He's floating away. But even if this guy was on the ground level, I wouldn't worry about him because he's the furthest target away from us. So that leaves you with this fight or these 2 guys to fight. Now I say these 2 guys because if you fight one, you'll have to fight the other unless they end up killing each other over this crate right here. And you could fight this guy, but again, he's going to have 2 different buildings that he can loot, meaning he's gonna have about 5, maybe 7 crates and a lot better loot than you and a lot more plates. And as you push up to fight, he might push back to get to the buy station, which means he's going to have the high ground. He's going to have the better weapons. He's going to have leverage on you, and it's going to be a bad fight. Now, it's a lot of what ifs, but that's how I look at it when I look at this UAV. And now the obvious answer, of course, is going to be the bounty, because you get better rewards. And of course, it's going to tell you what player to kill for said rewards. It's going to be a safer fight. All right, so we're marking right now. Now, look, when you have targets like this that are stagnant, and even if they're moving around, we really don't want to spend too much time on the map. We want to be in and out. We know where they're at. Take like a mental screenshot. I have terrible photographic memory, but even I can still kind of remember exactly where they're at. Go ahead, launch it, pull up your map, quickly look, and then move out. And of course, the guy that has a little bit better leverage is leaving the building, and it looks like he's running the opposite direction. The pings moved a little bit more towards the west-hand side of these buildings, which leads me to believe that there's a good chance that he's going to be somewhere in this area. And you can see right here on the mini map that he's actually moving further and further away. It's honestly strange because our buy station is actually the closest buy. So if you're this player here, your play is to actually push us. Again, like I had said, if he was to push us right now, one of 2 things would happen. He would either A, fight us on this hill, or B, as we're in the air, we're technically jumping over him. We're easy beams. These PRDs may be great tools sometimes, but they are very, very dangerous. We're flying in. And again, I don't think he's in the building anymore, and that's exactly right. I also wouldn't really hesitate. All this hesitation that we're having, especially since the sniper is our primary and our only long-range weapon, he's gonna keep running. There's a zip over here. There's probably a buy. There's probably some teams. So we need to kill this guy fast. So I want to go ahead and get leverage and start moving and grooving. Try my best to get to the enemy as fast as humanly possible. Look, I say it time and time again, getting your reps in is extremely important. And I know a lot of you guys work from home, so it kind of makes it difficult to game as much as you want. But there's a massive market for programmers, and they often work remotely. Well, today's video sponsor understands this issue and can help you get into programming at your own pace. Boot.dev is the smartest way to learn code because they make sure that you're never bored, which keeps you motivated. And according to Stack Overflow, the median salary for back-end developers in the United States during 2023 was over $100,000. Working remotely, play more games. You get experience, quests, achievements, and levels to take on the global leaderboards while you're learning. You know, keep that competitive edge. Learn back-end web development from start to finish in the Python and Go programming languages. The platform is designed to get you writing a ton of code because getting your hand on a keyboard and shipping projects is really the only way to learn. And you guys know that hits home for me because just like in Warzone, getting your reps in is extremely important. And look, the creators of boot.dev never want a student feeling like they spent money on something that isn't going to help them. So they offer a 30-day no questions asked refund policy and a free demo of every course and its interactive features. It's just a win-win. Just click the link below and use code SAVAGE to get 25% off your first payment for boot.dev. That's 25% off your first month or your first year, depending on the subscription you choose. But you hear gunshots above us right around this area here. There's it right here. And of course the enemy's ping is somewhere in this area. And I think that's actually him right there. Let's see what happens. Oh, that wasn't him, but he is right there. Now look, the enemy looks like he's running down to the right-hand side. You have two things you can do. You can either A, just continue to get the high ground. Since you have a sniper, this might be the better option. Shoot down the zip and maybe even shoot the enemy in the back of the face. Now, if you do shoot down the zip, there's a good chance, depending on the lobby you're in and what the enemy's personality is like, if he's going to be able to turn on you or not. So if you do shoot the zip, especially too early, there's a good chance the enemy could play this hill as a heady and really put a hurting on us because we don't have any cover right here but these two rocks. So if you're going to shoot the zip down, you want to time it a little bit better, get a little bit more leverage. You want to get closer to this hill so that when you shoot it, even if the enemy does want to turn on you, you're right on the top of the hill, you're just aiming down on them. Learning the topography of the map and just kind of looking at the overview and also just getting the reps in and really understanding what the terrain's like. I know that there's a little culvert right here that goes down towards that zip. So he's going to be in there. It's kind of like a kill box. You'll see in a second when we get there. So whether you stay up here or go right, there's a good chance you're going to kill the enemy anyway. The only thing the enemy has in this position to his benefit is the distance he has because of our hesitation. And he might be closer to the building than we might want him to be. No, he's not. When you hear gunfire this close behind you, you need to start playing cover. Now, all these areas right here, there's no cover at all. So he has to run down this area. So what is this enemy doing wrong right now? Remember, he heard our gunfire close by. We shot down his zip. So he knows we're on his tail. He knows we're in range of fucking him up. What should he do? Why is this a bad thing? Well, two things. Let's play the clip. Yeah, I kind of figured that would happen. So when the enemy is sitting right down here, right? This is his path. This is just enemies not thinking about cover and concealment. When you guys know enemies are behind you, you have to do one of two things. Either A, if you're out in the open, you want to zigzag. You want to make the sniper's job a lot harder. It's still hella early in the game. There's a very slim chance that the guy chasing you is going to have his loadout sniper, which means it's a ground sniper. And at that point, even if he's a decent player, it's going to be harder for him to shoot you. So you want to have some kind of zigzag. Make the sniper's job harder, not easier. Secondly, when you do get a little bit closer to this cover right here, you break to the right. You really need to start zigzagging and working your way towards cover. You do not want to sit here in the middle of the open and just keep yourself vulnerable.
All bounty targets destroyed. Hell of a job.
I told you guys this would be in depth. Now look, I'm going to give you guys a little hint on the video next week, but basically I broke down several games. I spectated over 30 different matches to kind of see what the average player's mistakes are right now. This is why I'm going so in depth with this video, because I've realized a lot of people still have very little knowledge on the basic fundamentals of this game. So I really want to approach it as if all of you guys are brand new. Of course, we'll have our advanced videos and our advanced sections. But right now, we're going to kind of hyper focus on the beginners, especially the new Cold War, the new Black Ops 6 integration coming very soon. So let's go back real quick. Again, we saw this earlier. I don't want to spend too much time in my map. The reason why that's a big deal is because if there are players anywhere in these areas here, they could come and third party you. We have no idea where these guys are going to be at. And again, you always want to assume. You do not want players to sit here and converge on you, whether it's one, whether it's two, whether it's three, whether it's the whole lobby, while you're sitting here in your map. Now, I know controller players don't have it as easy as us mouse and keyboards. I'll give you that. So you want to at least get inside a building and get by cover before you really do this. Now we're looking around a lot, trying to figure out where we want to go, trying to figure out what we want to do. And there are several different things you can do. Let's talk real quick about two different aspects: position and strategy. We need to wait for the guys to hit the next zone. Plain and simple. We can't really plan a rotation. Now we know the circle is going to finish somewhere in Old Town. Those are hot areas, and I really don't recommend going there and just sitting up. This is one of those instances where I would kind of go around the map, cleaning up kills, chasing kills in different areas. And then once the circle gets a little bit better, play the circle accordingly. And I do have a video coming out next week also where I played specifically like a bot, not getting high kills, losing gunfights, missing a lot of bullets on purpose sometimes accident too, to show you guys that you can win based on positioning alone. I wanted to put myself in your position of not being able to hit shots, not being able to snap, not being able to drop 20, 30 kills, and show you guys that even if you can average 3, 5, 7 kills, 10 kills, you can still win games efficiently. All right, so we're taking the zip to the bounty. Now, the problem with this area for me specifically is I hate this building area. I hate it. In all of Warzone history, this is the worst design they've ever had. And you know what? In all BR history, this is the worst design. You have multiple tall, what is it? 4-story buildings plus a rooftop. And I think each story has roughly 2 or 3 rooms. There's a lot of places for people to camp. The zips, blah, blah, blah. I don't like it. Whether you're sitting here in position, I don't like it because the hill has angles on you. Whether you're sitting here just fighting, I don't like it. If it's in game, you have to, it is what it is. But I'm going to say that I'm going to say a lot to say, I'm not coming here. I'm going to be honest. That's just me. That's just me, especially in solos. If it's quads, you can kind of work it, but solos, dude, I have this fear of going to the building and some bitch to the right, she'll fucking me up. Now look, this right here is what you call hell no. You do not do this. We're a lot lower than you think. And the reason why I'm going to stop this and really break it down is because we watch this every day we spectate. Every day I play. Dude, you are vulnerable from 360 degrees. There are buildings all around you. We know there's an enemy in one of these buildings. Because of this right here, I'm gonna go ahead and assume he's in this one. This ping hasn't moved, right? It looks like by the length of this video, we win the game or damn near get close. And I wanna say, no matter what the situation or the outcome is, I really think you got lucky in this one right here. All right, now we're just listening. Oof, oof, oof. There's no reason anybody should ever in their entire life be crouch walking while they're shooting. Or crouch walking in general. Even if you're like, an enemy's in here and I don't want them to hear me, fuck that. Slow walk if you really want to be quiet, but do not ever crouch walk, especially in combat. You need to get movement. If you guys want me to make an in-depth movement tips video, I will do so. I will make that video. We did it back in Warzone 1. I feel like everyone should have known by now, but obviously I might need to re-hit this, especially before Black Ops 6. So let me know in the comment section below if you want a movement video. Whether you're on controller, mouse, and keyboard, it's going to be the same thing. Especially, dude, on controller. If you're gonna be fighting, stand up and abuse the rotational aim assist. The reason why us mouse and keyboard players hate all of you controller players is because that is a very abusive thing. And I want you guys to abuse it, bro. There's no reason why you're playing on controller, not utilizing it to your advantage. I say I want you to. Now, if you're playing against me, turn that shit off. 95% of players play on controller, I would guess. So why would you allow an enemy who might be worse than you to have a better shot because you're sitting there crouched? All right, we're finally going to loadout, obviously. We need to get a little bit of haste on it. I don't like playing the edge of the gas like this if I'm not actively hunting, meaning I don't have my loadout, I don't have UAVs, I'm not actually trying to go kill after kill. All right, also, we do have $21,000 buy station, obviously. Now, notice the vehicle drove through here and nobody shot. Normally for me, that's a sign that nobody's here. So I will kind of gracefully come through here because players not only don't have a good reaction time on average, meaning that when the car drove through here, he could have been in any of these buildings, but he was just too slow to react and shoot. And that's a very good possibility. Go ahead and smoke that out with specialists. We do have smokes. Now, specialist is pretty prominent, but I know a lot of you guys aren't getting it just because you're not getting the key card. You just don't get aggressive enough or you die when you do get it. So let me know in the comments if you guys want me to make a video on the weapons you should be using based on your playstyle or the perks you should be using based on your playstyle. A lot of players will sit here and they'll copy a streamer or a YouTuber setup when in reality, you shouldn't be using it. Now, I'm not saying that YouTuber's wrong. It's just best for him. A lot of you guys are building hipfire builds when you're ADSing all the time. A lot of you guys are building ADS builds when you're hipfiring all the time. A lot of you guys are using high alert when you're sitting in corners. And a lot of you guys are using tracker when you're not chasing the enemy. So you really want to start asking yourself, how do I play? Does this build complement my play style? Because everyone always tells me, Savage, you should be running this. Savage, you should be running this. No, I'm running high alert. I'm an aggressive sniper. I'm always pushing enemies. I'm always out in the open, despite this being better, this being better, this. I get it, But my play style, dude, I survive way more fights and I win way more games because I have high alert. No doubt about it. Might not be good for you, might be good for me. But let me know in the comment section if you want me to make a video on this. Now, there's an enemy in front of us. There are two enemies in front of us. I'll be honest. I peeked that right-hand side, dude. I would 100% peek this and look at this dude. He's out in the middle of the street. That's easy pickings, bro.
UAV is exiting the AO.
All right. We got a little line of sight, little delayed, so the enemy probably had time to break away. Unfortunately, we did lose track of the enemy whenever the UAV ran out. I don't know if y'all heard that. The precision kind of muffled it. The guy just jumped right over us. He landed. He's to our right. Now, I'm not gonna say nothing to you. Yeah, see, bro, I told you. Now I'm not gonna say nothing to you because it was very muffled. I'm not gonna say anything about that, but it's funny. I like that. See, and this is a simple fight, and I really want to again go in depth with this because not only does he maintain movement to the side, right? Yeah, at one point on ADS's hip fires because the enemy starts having a drastic change in movement, which makes tracking a little bit harder in your ADS. He sees this, transitions to hip fire, and then re-ADS's. And even though the guy was already knocked, still a good thing to do. Even though I play on mouse and key, guys, I used to be a controller player for 20 years. When you ADS on an enemy and get that aim assist, and the enemy's movement starts going a little bit faster than you can track, un-ADSing, lining up that reticle on your screen with the enemy and re-ADSing basically reignites the aim assist. Do not let the enemy break your camera, break your angle because you're sitting in your ADS. I watch streamers troll bots all the time. I trolled a bot the other day in my YouTube short because he's just sitting there like this, and I literally ran circles around him. If you lose sight of the enemy or you think he's faster than you can track, un-ADS, line it up, re-ADS. Stop letting these no-life streamers kill you, all right? Now we have two enemies on the mini-map as well. We have three on our side. What could we do? Now there's a way you can capitalize on all of this. You gotta kill them. That's what you gotta do. So this zip right here is gonna be prime time for both of these guys. I like that. Go. Yeah, I'd push it. You don't want him resin. I'd push that. I'm not mad at this. Now when you do kill him, you need to realize that this guy and this guy are gonna make a break for it. This guy's going zip. Let him go. Unless he's a complete moron, which I don't think anyone's that dumb. He's hitting zip and he's gone. But I'd go ahead and focus on this guy instead because he's gonna be the easiest kill, no doubt. I get loot, get in and out, and again, I would start making my way over to this area here. I would start going right. You could take zip if you wanted to dip out. That's not a bad idea either, but if you want that kill, that's probably gonna be your only option. Now we did go this way. So the enemy didn't take the zip either. What a psychopath. Hit that buy for a Yui. Yeah. And don't worry about burning that gas. Who cares? They'll probably find another one before you even worry about it.
Gas is closing in.
I don't know why he did that. I have no idea why the enemy just ran to that building instead of hitting the zip. Right there. Oh, he's dipping too, bro. Look at that. Now, I don't want to be here at all. I want to get the hell out of here. I'm not sure what his plan is. It looks like he wants to rotate south, maybe. But I just want to get across. You don't have to take on this building. You could go wide left, but we just want to get across as soon as possible. With that 17-second timer, dude, if there is an enemy team in that castle area, which there normally is going to be, if they're smart, they're going to want to hold us. And because of that, dude, we do not want to be on this side. We need to get the hell out of here. So as far as surviving, this is a bad play. When it comes to strategy, again, I'm worried about that castle. If anyone in this lobby has a brain cell, they're going to be waiting for us to cross and they're going to kill us. Two, if you're going for kills, also huge momentum killer right there, just eating up a lot of time. So strategy, kill hunting wise, just not the tactic you really want to do. All right, so right now we have a buy station next to us. We do have smokes. I wouldn't even heartbeat. We need to get out of this area. I don't care if there's people around here or not. I'm using smokes and I'm hitting the buy and I'm using smokes and I'm getting the fuck out, period. This circle is going to divert to Old Town eventually. Let's go ahead and get over there or start making our way in that area. This is another area I hate fighting. Too many rooftops. They're pretty even, pretty level, but this is third-party hell. I want to get the fuck out of here. This is also gatekeep hell. I will be shocked. Granted, I was shocked Castle didn't shoot at us either, so maybe no one's here, but I'll be shocked that there's nobody here trying to hold our ass. We have smoke grenades. I don't care who's in the buildings. I'm smoking, and I'm getting the fuck out. Oh, no. All right, let's drop the precision. Oh, no! Oh, no. No, GG's. That's unfortunate. He's gonna survive. You need to smoke. Oh, that health is getting low. Smoke, smoke. Always smoke the buys when you're in a hot area. Hot area. If you're at a buy station on the edge of the zone, if you're on a buy station on the edge of the next zone, smoke it out. Honestly, I smoke it out no matter what, especially if you have restock. What are you saving for? 2, if you had it smoked, you could pop the UE, pick the precision up, wouldn't have to double back. Even if you did forget you dropped it and you went back, smoke would still be there. You can pick it up, safe and secure. Second tip, won't we get shot at? Initially, I thought you were gonna grab this for cover. And I was like, now it's a good idea. If you just lay right here and throw out a smoke, you don't lose as much health, you don't lose as many plates, and you're right next to the edge of the zone. So you could just dip out after you throw a second smoke. But instead, we take more damage right here, and we work ourselves deeper into the gas, putting ourselves more vulnerable, and then going back out the way we just came in, where we were getting shot at. Again, this is a good play. Whenever you guys get hit, you need to grab the first piece of cover. Even the next vehicle would have been a better play. This was just too risky because what if this guy, which he does, has line of sight right here and he's paying attention? He's not, obviously, because he's looking in a different direction, but like, what if? I do like the smoke plays though, I will say that. I also want you guys to notice he's throwing out smokes and not getting shot through them, okay? Everyone always tries to argue they don't use smokes because of thermals. That is a dumb reason. Again, I want to see you try to get away from the edge. Next time you play, or the next few times you play, I want you just to go. Don't worry about them. Don't worry about them. There's more people around. Yeah. We need to dip. We need to get the fuck out of here. We need to go. This is the 3rd time you've played the edge of the zone with under 30 seconds here. I don't like it one bit at all, dude. We want to go ahead and get our asses to the zip and zip the fuck out of here. There are 3 enemies here, possibly 4, because when we saw that UAV, it had 3, then it said enemy incoming, clearly after the UAV went away. So there could be 4 here. Even the guy that zipped came back and landed on one of the rooftops near us because he got shot at. And we're on UAV now. Now, win or lose this fight, survive or die. Let me give you a little secret. Enemy's blind anyway. But when you guys are in a room with a window, right? He's not doing too bad of a job. The closer to the window you are, the more your body is shown when you're trying to get a line of sight. So like, for instance, we can see right here, right? Since we can see right here, if our body was against the wall, the enemy could see our gun in our hand. But because we're backed away from the window, he can't see us. If I'm looking at a window, I'm not face checking it unless I'm checking under me. If I'm looking straight though, I'm back and clearing, and there's a less chance that the enemy can see me. Now, at this point, if the buy station's a good, but at this point, the buy station's a good play. Again, I would back up and just watch this. We don't need a sidestep. We don't need a peek. This is one of those times I wouldn't peek because the enemy is looking around. The enemy's right in front of us, and there's a good chance that the enemy, and I thought he did right here, you see his body, can see you. And now if he is looking, if he is observant, we just gave our position away. Like, that was dangerous. I don't think the enemy could kill us in this situation, but it'd make this fight a lot harder and it'd make our life a lot harder. Now remember, there's more enemies around. Chasing this kill is very risky. I'm not saying don't do it. I'd probably do it too. We have smokes, we can get out of it. But if you chase kills like this, you're putting yourself in a spot to be in a position to, again, get third-partied from anybody who happens to be in this area listening to gunfight, who has a little bit of self-confidence to play the game and get a fight won. I want to see what he has. I knew it. I knew it. He's got smoke grenades. He has smoke grenades. He has 2 smoke grenades. Whenever I get shot at, the first thing I do is look at my hit indicators, the things that pop up on our screen right here, and I separate myself from that area. After I look at the hit indicator, I scan my HUD quickly. As I'm moving around, just scan, just glance. Are my plates good? Do I have smokes? Mini map. Now let's look at the circle. This is a very interesting circle. What do you do? When I look at this, I instantly split it into fourths. Why? Well, there's a river literally right in the middle, right? So you have to be on one side or the other. It can shift this direction. It can go here. It can go here. It can go here. Shit, it can hug both. We don't know. But what I do know is I don't know where to go. If you ever don't know where to go because of a strategical issue, right? The topography of the map, just you have no intel, I'd stay where I'm at. Now I know this one's not gonna be favored. It's the smallest little sliver of land in the next zone. So there's no chance in hell that this island will be next zone. I know it won't be, but we just hold position so that we can take the zip and know where to go. Now, again, we have a buy in front of us. We could have made a play for it. I'm not mad he didn't because, again, we know a guy's over here. It's really risky. I don't want you working to a building that's not even safe just to get killed at a buy station. So I'm not mad at it. Again, your observations is great, especially compared to your average player.
Gas is inbound. Marking
Oh! Scared the shit out of me, bitch. All right, so circle did rotate. Pull up the map real quick, just get a little intel, and let's get the fuck out of here. Spend a little too much time in a loot. Again, time is of the essence. You guys need to start taking time a lot more seriously than you actually are. And let's look at the map. So where do you go? All right, so let's talk about strategy real quick, looking at this circle. So again, I want to go ahead and split this into 4 ways. We're going to go ahead and split this down at a different angle because the river is a split. The fact that you can't use this hill here is a split. So we have 4 sectors we have to talk about when we look at this zone. We don't go here. 1, this is the smallest part that's safe. So this right here is this big. That's all you get. There's a building, a fence, that's it. But if the circle rotates and you need to cross, you have no cover. Now let's talk about this. This seems safe. It's got bigger buildings. It's really not bad. The only concern I have with this is rotating. There's no cover right here. It's in the open. If the circle dives this way, it's a little bit better because we don't have to go water. And you could bounce from this building to this building to this building, kind of make a little rotation and then smoke out and get to the next zone. Then you have this area here. It's on the low ground compared to this hilltop. I wouldn't worry about the high ground in this situation. And this is one of those rare instances where when I normally say play high ground, this isn't it. You can go here, you can go here, and kind of just play the fact that you can rotate both directions, by the way, these areas and play the next zone efficiently. A lot of intel. I'll have a more in-depth in-game video literally next week where we just break down my end games, GOAT end games, and also normal spectate end games. All right, let's see what he decides. There are 2 options. I'm not mad at any of this way at all. And to be 100, if I was to pick any building, it'd be this one. I talked about how we could rotate this way. Well, if you're gonna do that, if that's gonna be part of the play, just grab one of these buildings here. We go right in the middle. Oh, little adjustment. Now again, we talked about elevation being risky earlier in the video. This is a different situation, but if you need to float to a rooftop and you just have to do it, you have to do what you have to do. Oh my. Smoke. This is why you smoke. 2 reasons, not just because of this right here, but because of this, the hill. Good movement. Good movement. I'm not mad at the drop off. I probably would have played a little bit more. You could have played it by the time the enemy played it.
Hey, you're almost done here.
Again, advanced players, that seems like normal everyday shit. But again, coming from the basic mindset of your everyday player, we come in here, we hear footsteps on ground level. We get the kill, we see the shots. I really wanted to point this out because most people don't pay attention to this guy, the bullets. What is this dude running from? They'll just see the player, they'll kill the player, and then they'll live in the loot. But what he did, which I liked, which is rare, unfortunately, he doesn't just thirst the enemy. He plays the situation. He looks at the totality of what the fuck just went down. Right to the face, bro. That's rude. And he plays it. All right, now hold this UAV until the next zone rotates, and we'll explain why. Also, I want to get to the rooftop too. I want to get back up to the roof. I want to go ahead and start seeing where enemies are. So when the zone does rotate, we only have a few seconds to make a move. We already have intel.
You got gas inbound.
This is everyone's biggest problem in game. Because the pressure's on and because you are about to either win or lose the game is almost over, people start hiding. I loved your observation from the beginning to about now. So let's put it in perspective. Why up until this point were you so confident with moving and rotating? Whether you're playing the edge or not, you still would go, you would look, you were observant, like you still had it. All of a sudden we locked it in when again, we really could utilize intel on what's around us. We could peek the doorway, clear this. We can clear this, we can clear this, we can clear this. Now I say clear, we can at least look to see if there's movement. And if we see movement, we don't have to fire, we don't have to shoot them. We just need to start adding up in our head, where's everybody at? Because that right there is gonna be crucial. If you see a guy here, you see a guy here, you see a guy here, now you know where 3 of the 6 enemies are, and you can make a rotation based on that knowledge. So make sure in game especially, all game, but definitely in game, make it a priority
Safe zone
in this position to be looking out the windows, looking off the rooftop, looking out the doorways. Because if we just blindly run when the 20 seconds
Keep
ends,
your eyes up for prize contracts.
we don't
You'll
stand a
earn more buck
chance.
for your bag.
Smokes is our only answer. And we are on UAV. Now, saying that, we haven't advanced. This is going to be the most crucial time to use this advanced. I don't want to wait for the next zone. I want to do it right now. I wanted to explain the entire situation of getting eyes on the enemy because let's assume he doesn't have an advance. You just have to do that. What he's doing now, this is all he had to do. But you want to use that advance right now. Why? Again, plan your rotation. We have to go out. I want to know where everyone's at. Everyone. Even if they have ghosts, guess what? Advance. Bye-bye, ghost. It could be the difference between winning and losing right here. At this point right now, we should know where everyone in the game is. Every single person in this match. If he dies with this UAV, I'm gonna be really upset. I'm not gonna lie.
You made it to the top 5.
Again, we're playing scared, but we have one of the most powerful streaks in the game. I'd say the most powerful streak in the game. Information is more important than kill streaks all day long. When I say kill streaks, I mean like bunker busters, precisions, clusters. Not having the advanced up is killing me. And look, it's been a while since I played yesterday for the first time in months. Let me know. Like, is this a new tool? Is this a bomber? They add a bomber to Warzone? I don't know. Got on the rooftop. We need to go. 5 seconds. Gas is coming in. We have a sliver of gas mask. We need to smoke out and rotate. We have to. Advance has finally been called. We know where all 4 enemies are. The only threat we have is the guy on the rooftop. That is it, boys. So what do? We smoke out right now. Smoke and row. Smoke and row. Smoke. It's panic. This is panic. This is panic. You also have a precision too. I want to throw that out there, but I wouldn't do it because you could be in the line of fire and He's going in. No, rotate back. Oh, he didn't come in. He went to the right. Crazy. All right, he went back up on the rooftop. Good play. Again, we have a precision. We could do this right here. I would. Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
Copy, Phoenix 2-3.
All right, we didn't kill him. And again, pay attention. Even though we're locked in on this guy, pay attention to the whole map. Well, this is an easy winnable game. These 2 guys will get in a fight. This guy is so scared and passive, just judging by his rotation where he's at. He's on the staircase right now. I ain't worried about him. This is my biggest threat. This right here, I think he's gonna be the hardest guy in the lobby.
Advanced UAV returning to base.
He's on the ground level now. He's rotating to the right. You can hear him and you can see him. You can still see him. Pay attention to that mini map. We're pushing up. I wouldn't push this direction. You want to lead the enemy to where he needs to go. What do I mean by that? Well, it's pretty simple. The enemy has to rotate this direction. Meaning, as he rotates to the next zone, we need to rotate to this entrance and get line of sight on not just this warehouse, but this enemy too. If we continue this path going around here, he's going to probably be waiting for us. He's probably going to anticipate the fact that we're going to push. He might hear us, and we put ourselves in a real bad spot because not only do we take initial gas damage, but he's shooting at us also.
Gas is inbound, marking a new safe
Yeah,
zone.
I'm not mad at this at all. Again, you want line of sight. You want line of sight. You really do. Also, watch that left. Just like I said, I wouldn't go out there. He might come in there and shoot you from the side. Be
A
careful.
couple contracts out there have increased payouts. Get to them first to cash out. You got gas moving.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all. We're getting a little too aggressive right now. When you have zones like this and you have a guy here, 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 and here, and you put yourself in this position, what does that mean for you? That means that these guys all possibly have line of sight on you. I'm again more worried about the guy that's over here than I am any of these motherfuckers.
Couple contracts out there have increased payouts. Get to them first to cash out.
Now what you could do is play the wall. You could jump over here and play it. Problem with it is you put yourself vulnerable from him, but now that we're here, we're kind of vulnerable no matter what. Oh no.
What the fuck messed up?
Oh no. No, yeah, now you have to worry about the right side and this side. This is dangerous, not to mention this is the low ground. So an enemy could play this as a heady or just the corner. He could come right here. He could come behind us. He could, I don't like this at all. Hell no. Oh boy. Oh no. Go to left.
Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
All right, so right now the enemy has the high ground. He's got leverage. We do have Simtexes too. Remember, utilize your tools. That's exactly what I would do. So we know the enemy's right here. I'd put a beautiful Simtex right there, and I'd put another one right there. One thing I will say is that you haven't used your tools as much as I'd like to see, especially the restock. Allow us. Okay, two things. One, that was what fucking high. Calm down, Aaron Rodgers. Hell no. All right, so if we look at this position here, dude, I would just wrap. Why would I wrap? Well, the enemy is sitting right up here, and we started throwing grenades around this area. So the enemy, assumingly, is going to be looking down because that's where he thinks we're at. Now, he could still scan this direction, but as you wrap on this hill, one of two things happens. Either A, he's distracted, or B, you can't see that side, but you kind of play this area here as a heady, and then you get line of sight on him. So his whole body will be vulnerable, and only your head will be vulnerable because of the terrain difference. Also right here, you're not safe. When the zone starts closing in, you're dead. So you have to make a play. So that's exactly what I'd do. I'd wrap. Another thing too is you have a smoke grenade. You could smoke out and bait. You could smoke them, bait, and rotate up. Food for thought. Bam. But guys, thank y'all for watching. If you want to stay up to date with Warzone tips and tricks, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Leave a like on the video too if you did enjoy it. And if you want to submit gameplay, join our Discord and submit a gameplay through our viewer submissions. But y'all have a good one. Until next time, good luck in Warzone. You're gonna need it.